Oh, kissing! It is time for Chiefs and Gravitas to go blow for blow, toe to toe here on the LCO, delivered by Menulog. It's going to be a fun one. 16-0 against 0-16. Who wins? Who knows? If it all goes wrong, of course, both teams lose their perfect record. Is that going to happen? Likelihood is very little. I'd be giving it 1% at this point. Skimmy agrees. Not even one? Either way, look, let's have a quick gaze at the Chiefs roster, see what they're bringing into the Rift today. Same as usual, same thing that works, same thing that doesn't lose. So, what else is there to say to Kitty? Kitty.
What is else there to say? Oh no, I've been contaged.
What is else there?
Contaged?
I
tongue my twist, and everyone else does too.
Yeah. So hopefully Raze actually gets an MVP tonight
scammed.
because he has been scammed for the past, I believe, 3, and he's been protesting to Aladoric apparently. So, yeah, Mac, you be the judge.
I'm always judging. You know me, Mr. Judgmental over here. Rusty, how are they going to do it today up against Gravitas?
I mean, how do you want them to do it?
Well, okay, I'll rephrase the question. How is Gravitas going to do it today up against the Chiefs?
Well, Toppy, we're going to hold a poll in chat about who has the better name, and then he will win.
Yep.
Because Toppy always wins in the eyes of chat.
Yep.
And then I don't know how this translates to On the Rift, but Toppy will get a win there.
Nah, but T-Shen fandom is pretty up there as well, mate. It could be a bit
That's
50-50.
true. Actually, can we poll Toppy or T-Shen?
Toppy and T-Shen copy pastors.
Cause a civil war.
Mordred, if you're in the
between
chat, please
fan
get
base.
that going.
Legitimate civil war.
Just come at me. Look at that pose.
Either way, this is the match where Gravitas hopefully start to lean back on some comfort champs, start to lean back on something that could work, something that may be a little bit cheesy, but something that is Gravitas, right? Something that they can pull out that we've seen in previous splits, previous iterations of the roster that somehow causes an upset victory and just play for some crazy early game, play for globals.
It's a Camille top lane, gank top, split push angle.
Yep.
That's what's always worked for Gravitas in the past 2 years.
Yep.
We already talked about this, didn't we, Rusty? I said I want to see Camille, Galio, and Ziggs assassinate the VIP, right? You lock them in place with a Hextech, you crash them down like Superman, you hit the Inferno Bomb on top of their head and say, goodbye.
Dajong is actually a really good Galio and he plays it quite a lot.
Yep.
And why don't we see a Camille Galio combo where we do have Thomas Shen always on Ezreal? He is able to play safe and probably do the damage when he needs to. So let's have Piglet on a roaming support. Let him go top. Have Camille have that security to get that kill and maybe pair it with the CC jungler so Camille thrives off even better. And just let them play their comforts. And I want to see them thrive. Please.
Okay. T-Shen played as yesterday, right?
Yes.
And it didn't go super well for him.
They had more.
I actually want to see more T-Shen on the Callista. That was good. That was great last week. I had fun watching it.
He took it some big players, didn't he, right? Like he went up against Violet and just got solo kills galore. So, I mean, you can do it against Raze as well. Certainly, you can bow out gracefully and say, oh, watch me now.
Is there any way that works well with that Camille top angle that you were talking about, Rusty?
Somewhat. If you keep top isolated and you play for like aggressive bot side of the map, yeah, you could probably do like a Callista Nort angle and then just like separate the Camille till team fights. Galio, like a roaming mid laner, can work with that.
Yeah?
You'd have to be like Faker though, because like Faker ganks top while his jungler ganks bottom.
Bard support. Okay, so you just land down the binding, right?
How's that help the Callista?
Okay, now the Tempered Fate goes down, and he's like, oh, it's my time to shine. Hextech Ultimatum, then comes in Heroic Entrance, and then Callista's like...
Is Bard easy?
Is Bard easy?
Is Bard easy?
Well, that's what everyone thinks, but no.
Okay, would Piglet think it's easy?
Do you disagree? That is the stankiest face I've ever been received.
There's a reason why Bard is the most inflated support champion alongside with Pyke in
different
Elo. There's a reason why there's an inflation of Bard players in high Elo.
I've had enough about hearing from you bloody support mains over here. I've got an ADC main on the line. Guys, please, Thomas Shen is here to have a chat.
We need your opinion, T-Shen. Is Bard an inflated champion where people that play Bard, are they inflated?
Yeah, I think it's inflated and the champion's pretty useless.
Tishan
does
has
nothing
said
thing.
the word. He agrees.
I want
Okay,
Toppy.
so I'm guessing Piglet's probably not playing Bart today. Either way, Tishan, I loved your Callista last week. Are we potentially? Is that like in the mix of champs when potentially going to see? Is Gravitas going to start to lean towards some more comfort picks now that they're out of the running?
I think it depends because the champion, it's like strong early, but it doesn't do too much when your team falls behind. So it will depend on like the comp that we pick.
It will, and we did see that it did work out really well for you guys in the early game when you did pick that Callista. So who's actually do you think is who do you think is the main carry of Gravitas now that we've seen a bit from Toppy and a bit from yourself?
I don't know, it's like a 50-50. Like you flip a coin and then like someone will play better and you hope they can carry.
Where do you guys see as sort of like your strong point? Is it literally you or Toppy, or do you sometimes have mid in that conversation as well? Is it just like an on the day kind of thing, or do you go into it saying you're going to be the carry? This is what we're drafting around you today. Like, what's the chemistry behind the Gravitas drafting?
I think Toppy, like, he likes playing champions like Na a lot, and Na's like, you kind of leave him to his own. So, like, I just told my jungler, bro, can you come bot and gank? Because, yeah, I might be able to carry. You never know.
Hopefully we do see Lenya visiting bot lane a lot more, and best of luck in your match against Chiefs, and see you next week, or maybe the week after.
Thank you, thank you.
Always good to have a quick
I hope Toppy wins.
chinwag with the T-Shen. You want Toppy to win?
I hope the poll comes up and Toppy wins.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why?
He's not happy anymore.
Justice for Bard.
Why are you angry, Rusty?
Oh, no reason, Mac. No reason.
Good. I'm glad we got that one out of
On
the
with
way.
the show.
No reason.
So,
Yumi's the most inflated.
dear fan vote time. You've already voted in another poll. Hopefully you had time to get that one out of the way. This poll, Twitch points, Dare points, Twitch points, LCO channel points. Put them on the Dare fan vote. Let us know how you think this one's going to go. I already felt, surprisingly, Gravitas, like specifically I think it's Toppy and T-Shen, have these fans that still throw their points into the mix every time. So I'm thinking it might still be that 90 to 10%. I think Gravitas is still going to have a decent amount there. What's your thoughts?
It usually is, right? I think like even the last time they went up against each other, I want to say that like Gravitas got like 16%, which is crazy. So there's definitely a lot of fans out there that are hoping for an upset, which is great.
Wasn't 100,000 of that tally? Wasn't it?
Let's not beat around the bush with the
100,000.
details.
They were
and
charity
the,
points.
And the
He was worried.
subtext and then this and did that.
He wanted people to have more points to put on more games. Tally was doing God's
At
work.
the end
Either
of the
way,
day.
let's see how we think this one's going to go. Shields across the board. I want to see who do we think is going to be the first person to predict against Chiefs, because it's been very aligned. All split.
I'd
on
say
the
it's probably
Chiefs games?
playoffs. At this rate, it's probably
Yeah.
playoffs by the time we start looking at like upsets, because that's when you can start talking about series scorelines, which will become a little bit more interesting. I think
Because
in a
you
best
can
of one format.
justify a 3-2.
Yeah. Or a 3-1 if you want to be, proper
Right.
cheeky and say that's a bit of a cop-out answer. But yeah, in a best of one format, I think right now it's a little bit too hard to try and adjust on the fly. You get the draft wrong, kind of like, well, it's going wrong in the first 10 minutes. You can't really salvage it.
You can't really. Now, look, Chiefs comp, let's touch on it. I feel like no matter kind of what they want to play, they're just great on their comfortable champs. They're great on the champs that are meta right now. What are we going to see, Kitty? Do you think we're going to see scaling, or are they just going to play for early game? Try to make it happen real quick.
If I remember correctly, I believe that Tapoon is actually the only one, or one of the very few that is quite fond of Kennen, and we've seen very few of Kennen in the LCO split for this year.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see what Chiefs has cooking up, because I'm sure they have like some very secret champions saved for playoffs, because they can't expose too much, but they do want to do some. We have seen some more experimenting, so hopefully that is what we get today.
Well, let's have a look at what we're going to get for Game 3. Champ Select's ready. Let's jump on in.
Thank you very much, Mac and Kitty. Let's find out if there will be any experiments here today, or if it's going to be fairly stock standard. No Callista, banned away there by Chiefs. Not going to allow Thomas Shen to try and spread his wings and showcase just how good he can be in the bot lane. Same with the Poppy as well as that Seraphine.
May just default to the Ezreal from this point with the Callista taken away. Does seem to be Thomas Shen's comfort option. I almost said comfort food, just felt like the correct thing to say. Poppy going to be banned away from Lenia, who seems to default to a bit more abstract once that one is gone, and Draven is a first ban. First rotation
Alidoric
ban.
looks upset by that one,
It
doesn't
just
he?
makes me feel like they're just locking in Zeri and Yuumi. And we're just like, okay, like, not going to let you counter me.
No, certainly not.
Draven was Razor's response to the Zeri in split 1.
Yeah, Twitch overrated. Draven the go-to, and we've certainly seen that Razor a little bit of a sniper on that champion. So Zeri locked in here. Are we going to get ourselves a Da Jung special with the Zoe? This will tie then for his most played champion of the entire year. Right now it's Silas, 7 games. 6 for the Zoe, what he made his name for, really, to become that most improved player back in split 1. Seems to always find a home on this champion, has definitely found moments where he can shine and jump across the wall and one-shot you.
And Silas is one of those matchups where you're not giving him an ultimate to work with, so you can comfortably pick the Zoe. I think you have to run Ignite, to be honest, to make the matchup really favorable. Or you just have to roll the dice, get a Spell Thief off a Balloon and find the perfect ones. But more often than not, I would be expecting the Ignite to be seen from Da Jung to have a winning lane state into Tally, who has been honestly unleashed the past couple of weeks. Tally in his own right has been getting solo kills and doing more and above and beyond what we're used to even seeing from him. Chiefs will lock in the Twitch in seeing the Zeri though, so you can speak about the Draven, but this is the conventional response. And of course, the hover of Alidoric's Rakan. It would be a surprise to not see this one.
Absolutely, absolutely. Not going to be a case of looking to try and draft, say, like a Renata or Lulu to get you the Ignite to basically try and cheat the lane and get ahead against a Zeri in the laning phase. No, you want the hard engage, and why not? Rakan being his best champion there. What do Gravitas do as a response? That is the big question on our eyes. No real pressure on them. Complete opposite scoreline. 16-0 versus 0-16. You're hovering a brand. Is that bait? Is it true?
Just Chad Leona. That's not Leona. I feel like if you're going to go into the Alidoric Rakan, you may as well, right? You may as well match fire with fire. This is one of those lane states where we have seen Zeri's die at level 2. While it isn't, of course, the Renata, there's still plenty of engage angles from Alidoric, who somehow finds always angles that no one else sees or wouldn't find. He gets them with the knockups early. Double person knockups, to say the least. But Zeri Lulu, very good lane. Scales out nicely into the game. Zoe has a very volatile lane regardless because it is Zoe. Can scale but wants to be ahead. And if it gets ahead, Zoe is a nightmare to deal with. If it falls behind, it just starts to naturally drop off. So you want a little bit more emphasis here from Gravitas towards that midsection. Probably through their jungle role. Something that can gank mid would be nice. This is where, Jarvan still comes to my mind. But
yeah. So I'm curious about right now, right? Because there are 2 bans, or technically 3 if you count Talia, in the mix of what Gravitas have banned away. And we've seen that Arthur's champion pool has been limited to just 5. Doesn't want to reveal anything too crazy at this stage. Last 8 games. Only champion that would be available now would be the likes of a Zen. Also, we know he's an insane Lee Sin at the same time. So will Gravitas make it another jungle ban to make his life difficult, to give Lenny a rare reprieve? It is, as they take away Trundle.
You could go Gwen Zin and have like the untargetable duo for Gravitas to round out their comp, right? Because your opponents have picked Twitch, you outrange, or rather the Twitch, while it outranges you, will be doing 0 damage to both of you as a result of having those champions locked in. This is kind of like the Worlds combo, or the MSI combo rather.
Exactly, yeah.
There's really, the 400 years duo. Udyr, banned away. I don't want to deal with Udyr.
They're saying, come on,
Arthur's laughing.
Yeah, well, both junglers are cracking up, saying, "Come on, man."
Like, Chiefs have just said we have a free ban. What do we want to get rid of? Amazing. You know what beats Twitch?
Just taunt it.
The OK cannon. Spin to win.
Come on. You're halfway there. Oh, he's defaulted to Z instead. Big focus on these junglers. Didn't expect to see the draft go this way, but
Oh yeah,
I'm about
that
it.
makes sense. I mean, Arthur could Lee Sin here probably. Just quickly checking the ban.
It feels likely.
Most likely option with Trundle and Viego taken off the board. Wukong already gone and the Xin locked in. I mean, I'm expecting to see it regardless of what Toppin goes for. But he is going to go, just again being on blue side, saving the counter for Toppy. They are going to go for the Gnar. But Gangplank's already banned. So it makes you wonder exactly where Gravitas will go for their 5th pick. Will it just be the Camille? Or will it be the Gwen that we hinted at before?
Yeah, well, I'm curious, right, as to how they want to try and form a response against this Gnar, because since Toppy has made his introduction to the LCO, the split 6 games, by far and away his most played champion. Both times in this fixture, it has just been a Gnar and Ken in top lane. His second most played would be the Camille at only 2 games, so you'd be thinking, surely, if you want some way to try and lock down a key target, that would be it.
Just go Vlad, go crazy with it. Team fight, ignite Vladimir. Surely it doesn't lose top lane too hard.
There's another AP option. If we've been inspired by the performance of Paprise earlier today, perhaps another Shyvana.
El Papitan did have a very good game. One to be very much respected with his Shyvana. Can Toppy do the same? Definitely a question we'll need to ask. Drafts locked in, Skimmy. It's the battle of the perfect records.
It is indeed.
Go head to head.
Battle of the Streakers, as I called it.
For very different records, but both achieving perfection so far, 8 weeks into the LCO split. Would be a big shock to see those streaks broken.
Certainly would be. Chiefs still hunting for that perfect splitter record, which I just don't think has ever happened. Something that is not impossible to do in a modern era, but Chiefs are well on course to trying to make that statement, that claim, a real living reality. As for Gravitas, their dreams of mounting an assault towards a playoffs run has been cut rather short, but they do get the ability now to cause a few headaches for some teams, right? Run with the wind, play what they like, have some fun with it, and close out these remaining 5 games with a bang.
So I would say, as we've now seen the draft, top is going to be on an island. It is going to be very much an isolated affair, right? The Gnar being picked and the Shyvana being responded with. If anything to go by from game 1 of the day between Mammoth and Peace is still true in this one, they're just going to exist in their own world. Xin Zhao and Lee Sin, in terms of the ganks that they're going to be able to put down, I feel like they do have really good options in mid lane. They do have good places to look for in mid lane for ganks, and so do they with bot, right? It's going to be Enchanters, Zeri Lulu, yes, but like Xin Zhao getting in there for damage definitely still has some access, especially if Chiefs are going aggressive and engaging, because Piglet can use that polymorph, can stop their advance, and the counter ganks could be devastating from Gravitas. But I do think that we look at mid, and we play as mid as a highway to the rest of the map. If you are Gravitas for the Chiefs, you could be aggressive bottom, you could be aggressive mid, you could be aggressive top if you wanted to. And Arthur gets to choose wherever he would like to go, but it has always been bottom the past couple of weeks.
And it certainly has ganking opportunities across the map for these teams to try and flourish. And let's jump into the Rift for the 3rd time tonight. Week 8, day 2. A big game here between Chiefs and Gravitas. And a big man on the line. Joining me, Mystic. Mate, how are we?
Fantastic. How about yourself, lads?
I'm just as well as you. I'm loving the energy. That's what I love to hear when you bring it into an interview. Well, tell me, 5 games left off this split. What are you really aiming for to try and wrap up this entire year?
Cause some havoc, man. You know, just see if we can't shake up the standings, ruin some people's splits, and have some fun while doing it. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's what I'm looking at as well, given the fact that those standings are still ever so close. The race for 5th, the playoff stream alive for these teams to try and get on through. So with those fixtures left, can we expect to see more wild picks, or do you think the team's going to default a lot more towards comfort and sort of what got them to the pro landscape in the first place?
Probably a little bit of both, right? Of course, against Chiefs tonight, we're like, you know, let's just see what we can possibly throw a wrench in there with. But at the end of the day, my goal at least is to get the players to give their best showings possible here at the end of the split, so that they can have the best opportunities going forward. So probably going to get a mix of comfort and crazy.
Yeah, and that's a fair response, and that's all we can really hope for. Well, Mystic, a pleasure, mate. I wish you boys the best of luck on that quest, and we'll catch up next time.
Appreciate it, lads. Have a good one.
All right, Raze with an attempt to place a ward down at level 1 is a little bit late to his lane experience. He's going to miss the first melee of the lane, so he's not going to get level 2 at the standard timing of the rest of Gravitas. Alidoric picks up that experience solo, however, and is going to be 1 minion faster. We'll see if this means anything in the scope of this lane, as very early on, Piglet.
Yeah, jumped upon him.
Cops it.
Huge health trade in their favor. Do hit level 2 first, though, does the Gravitas bot lane.
Yeah, but also Q start from your Lulu. If you're going to go Q start, you probably aren't going to be in range to just get hit by a full combo and auto attack. You're better off just throwing the Q and threatening with auto attacks, because the Q can outrange and stop Raze from covering distance to auto you. So I would say that was a pretty big mispositioning from Piglet as far as that trade is concerned. Otherwise, just start E, you know? You're going to auto-attack, use the extra damage that an E can provide. By the way, nothing actually does come from the level 2 from the experience transitions there.
Close there for a second.
Hello.
But Alpha now have a double buff advantage into Lenia, who is invading there with the sweeper, seeing if he could have potentially snuck that one away. Not to be the case, though, as Alpha is going to work his way towards these Krugs. But Lenia will say, well, I've put in the attention towards this side of the map. The counter jungling is still on. I'll just take your Raptors.
And we'll get them very successfully. Top lane seems to be going very nicely for Toppy here as well, just looking at the general health advantage. Toppy did leash, which makes things a little bit harder for wave setup, especially into a ranged champion like the Gnar. Getting through that level 1 hurdle, being able to control the wave for level 2, you get to run away with it just a little bit. The wards get placed, engage happens, flash use, Skibby.
You love to see that, ever so nimble. The amount of ground that the Rakan just covers in an instant. Can't waste any time there. Instant reactive flash away.
And the crazy thing about Rakan is if that W misses, you still have a second charge of your E dash to get away. It's
So
just
forgiving.
Yeah, it's cute. It's really forgiving for any errors and mistakes. It's one of the reasons that Rakan is so overburdening. That end, coupled with Twitch, who can be invisible, means it's a free springboard and free opportunity like you're seeing. But again, mistake was made.
You
Hello.
can see the method to the madness there, Alador. Like, I see a way to jump in here. There is a Zen about to try and come in and gank, but
Just know that I could.
I could. As you say, it's a warning shot.
Din showing himself though. Level 3 compared to the 4 of Arthur. Just ticks that one over. We'll be able to steal away the Raptors that were stolen from him before. So business as usual.
Yep. Fair business deals all around for them. But we'll have the ability now to rotate top and potentially find a little bit more for that trade. Obviously has the tempo for Tapoon to back him up. We'll look at those Krugs, but might be looking for a dive because Toppy is very low.
This wave isn't great. It is 3 ranged minions to work with and 2 of them are one-hittable. You got to go now.
Ghost is on. Toppy is the target, and Arfe is going to just find that kill. Tapoon tanked it up beautifully, and it really is just as easy as that.
They just find their window. They just find the wave. They get the dive off. Pretty straightforward stuff. Hard to fault the Chiefs. They are just clean in how they execute. They know their damages. And Arthur is one of the, I would say, remaining incredibly capable Lee Sin players. It never really seems to falter in his mechanics on the pick, where everyone else in the LCO seems to have their moments of brilliance clouded by the moments of tragedy that seem to just supersede that.
I think himself and Gooder right now have 2 games, 2 wins, and like a 11 KDA. It's pretty much up there. Something about these Korean Lee Sins that we've said really all year.
Yeah, very different play styles as well, which is the fascinating thing about Lee Sin, right? The flexibility of the pick. You can play aggressively, you can play more defensive-minded. Gooder loves a good side lane more than anything else. You can see all of the stats of Arthur. I mean, every time we bring up stats from Arthur on X-Champion, it is just insane.
It's always just 1 depth, 90% KP, high damage share, and you're thinking, what can't he do? He does it all.
Engage on bottom, Piglet, no flash.
Big Dive on Piglet, who's in a whole world of trouble. That is going to be the Summoner Heal burn, but it's not enough to try and give him the health. He needs to live a little bit longer. He couldn't limp away. He is broken and gone as then a wind becomes lightning. It's enough to get Alpha just out of range. Flash forward to get the burst fire to find at least something. Thomas Shin gets airborne for a second, but looks to me as if Raze is a little bit greedy. He wants them all, and he will consume them all. Baozhong is going to say, well, there's a paddle start, put you to sleep. But you'll wake up and just walk back to mid.
Raze is greedy, but successfully so, as he'll find himself not just the 1 kill, but has a 3-0 scoreline. And it looked okay for just the moment. Thomas Shen found an angle, and you're like, okay, it's just a skirmish, it's just a trade. And it goes from bad to worse in almost the blink of an eye. Still, Chiefs are relentless. They know their limits, they know their angles, and they're just a little bit too good with it. Top in has no ult, but Top E not going to hesitate to use his.
No, it's the battle of those rage bars getting ready to stack up to evolve. But let's run it back in this bot lane play, because it all starts off with the engage onto the flashless Lulu.
Yeah, and minutes prior, you know, the fact that he had to flash away just means he is a sitting duck, is just dead. Follow through here from Thomas Shen, stacks up so much damage alongside Lenia onto Arthur, flashes forwards to confirm it. Of course, the E-dash, meaning that you can auto through other champions, is nice, but quite simply, Raze is just going to trade his auto attacks between both Thomas Shen and Lenia. He's going to find the lethal range with the expunge on one, flash auto to get the second.
It's clean, and certainly making an argument to say, please, casters, just give me one MVP one time. I've had enough of Eladoric taunting me as my support partner. And this is going to be the perfect start for me. Tapoon no Mega.
Don't think he cares.
And he's just going to abuse his ranged form.
He's just going to sit here and auto attack Toppy off cooldown. Look at this wave. It is absolutely juiced. That's just minions that Toppy's going to miss. Bubble hits.
Yeah, Toppy has no teleport as well. That's a real disaster. He certainly needs Linear to poke his head into top again to try and help break it.
They are currently going to make the play, Skimmy. 8 minutes. Herald on the cards. Twitch are just going to stay bottom for plates. I don't know if the Chiefs want to go too hard on a contest, but Toppy being very close to Mega. I think there was a world where they said, okay, let's do this, but perhaps Tally having that bad trade prior and no teleport was enough of a deterrent.
Gravitas feeling threatened that they needed to do something on that occasion. Didn't find the kill in mid lane. He zoned away from the top wave. So to find it, they get themselves that Herald. Lane assignments as it stands right now was raise into Toppy, but Eladoric is here to back him up. And as you say, much more interested in just getting individually strong with levels and gold.
I'm just waiting for that first item spike more than anything else, right, for the ADC role here of the Chiefs. Looking towards the blue buff invade, should be able to find this one. Best case scenario for Gravitas is the Toppy walks in, sees it's being done, and then leaves. In fact, I'm just going to try and steal a Grom. Under the nose of Arthur, who's like, as if. Meanwhile, has to be highlighted that Linear was playing topside, which is why they're playing so aggressively, Chiefs, and why Toppy is so afraid.
Yeah.
Charge is confirmed, but it's not going to be a full turret. They're not going to dive Topoon.
So much turret plating still there to keep it topped up, even in a three-man push like that. It would spend a lot of time for them to stick around.
And the Gravitas have also put their Zoe bottom. So they're not trying to cross-map trade. They're trying to defend bottom while getting plates top, and really it just feels like now top laners are just going to catch minions and nothing's going to happen from it. But if nothing happens, Chiefs are still getting more gold on the map.
Yeah. With
a blue buff and full blue side jungle steal into a Drake that essentially equalizes the Herald into a full jungle to clear. While Darjung is spending time walking between waves and Tally's farming mid.
Yeah, they're farming up a trait. And yeah, there is that plate finally confirmed. Raze will have a lot of money, a lot of pocket money to go back to base and find that first item spike. Let the Rune King come on through and feel like an absolute menace to then go and contest in that next big team fight. It really is right now the battle between these two AD carries.
Mans has money for days, doesn't he?
But Arthur's up there as well.
Yeah, he is. Amazingly, this Lee Sin, I mean, Arthur's good at getting money, actually. There's one thing you compliment him on. He's super good at knowing when to leave his camps to dive lanes, but he's also very good at knowing when to do his camps. It does seem to be like the S tier of junglers right now in the league. Who's even up there with him? Goodo's been improving.
You would say Goodo in his own right, but they're very different play styles. You'd say Balkan on a good day.
Balkan on a good day. Balkan not during the Balkan incident.
No.
Same thing for Lisa.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's the flash quickness. A beautiful dash away from Thomas Shen. That was just a thing of beauty.
Yeah, able to actually buffer the dash through. Doesn't get cancelled. It seems like perhaps the knock-up would cancel you, but the charm doesn't seem to be enough to stop it. Jung just going to look to put some damage down, misses.
That's clever. Eladoric catches at the Zoe, the predictable movement, the flash away from the chains that Tally was thrown his way. Linear also forced to share the same fate, despite the Crescent Guard. The mid-jungle of Gravitas in a lot of trouble.
Engage on Ray's bottom.
Thomas Shen keen for it, but Ray just answers back with a spray and prays, you can't match my range. It's a 1v2. He's going to get close to Expunge.
Whoa.
He flashed on his head. He exhausts him. He gets it, Thomas Shen. Something about him up against these star-studded AD carries, and he just wins.
He does have an entire Lulu in advantage, but Raze wants the fight. Raze takes the fight. Thomas Shen stands and delivers, and he finds the angle. Gets the shutdown, 300 gold, so 600 total into his pocket, plus the potential plate that fell afterwards. Now 2-1 on this Zeri is the heart and soul of Gravitas, is the team of Gravitas right now.
What a moment. What a great way to try and answer back and say, well, if Chiefs are going to be trying to greed their way through and just literally claim everything that the map has to offer, will at least find something to answer back with. So he can go back to base now, pick himself up an Immortal Shield Bow. Aladora will redeploy the map and group up here with Arthur, as they've done countless times this split. And just say, I mean, just look at the minimap top half. It completely belongs to them. Here we go.
Piglet.
Yeah, Piglet, where you going? Certainly not to where you thought you were, because you're just gone. It's a quickness, it's a charm, and it's just a lot of damage that rewards Tally with a handsome double.
I mean, quite simply, Gravitas just lost their minds for a second there. Chiefs with control of the area, playing for top very clearly, had freedom to move through not just their jungle and support, but through their mid laner who was there. And Toppy was half health. You're not contesting that. There's no world that you're contesting that. You're dreaming. They walk in, and lo and behold, with no hesitation, the Chiefs will make the dive work. Make the engage work.
Certainly well, and Tapoon is going to continue to look to make this play a bit of a reality. Warning shots, really more so than anything. Tally with the Leandries packs a lot of damage right now. He's got the first strike also as the Silas. And despite copying those trouble bubbles, doesn't really feel like he's ever in a real dire situation.
Oh. Was definitely keen to hit that chain. Darjung playing with fire. Not respecting the all-in threat of the Silas. Doesn't connect either way. That's twice now an ability over that wall has just gone slightly wide of his hitbox. Just a Teemo off.
All it takes. Those magical portals, as annoying as they are to deal with, they can certainly be countered. Give attention onto Thomas Shane. Good dash away there. Not going to fall victim to the knock-up. The rest of the Chiefs now collapsing, as you see. On towards Lenny, who was setting up a bit of a gank attempt. Well, he's got nothing really to do. He burnt that flash before, so he's gone. Raze will find Retribution and say it's not a 2v1 this time. You can't do much about that. And your support is lost in the river. And Natali's on a killing spree.
It's absolutely beaten into the ground is the support of Gravitas. A 1v1 essentially between ADs as well. Meanwhile, top lane.
Tapoon is looking for
a
flash and a shove. I don't think the stun actually went off, but he's
Tapoon
hit the pillar, and Toppy's giving us the thumbs up.
Never happened. It never happened. Never happened.
Tally looking for it. Darjung's running out of space. Where can he go? There's no other options left.
Darjung dies. Top lane, I do think he's going to get away just this time around. We'll see. No, he's not. Okay, Top lane's not going to let him.
He actually cancelled it. I thought the boomerang's on cooldown. Maybe there's a world where you just commit.
He just sprinted under the turret, put his face there. Chiefs aren't even really interested. Aren't going to be diving him, but Toppy has to be respectful. Chiefs just going to be able to look to disengage after clearing this wave out. I don't think you can contest anything at this point if you're Gravitas. Second Herald, probably not. You're 6,000 gold down, man. You're 6,000 gold down.
Yeah, it's tough, and you're sort of seeing what's happening as a product of that. Is everything is a freebie for Arthur to collect. It's a coupon that he's just cashing in every single time. My team's winning the game, so let's just go to the checkout and pick ourselves up a dragon. Perhaps now I'm going for the self-service, and fantastic. There's a bargain deal on this Herald. That looks great.
There's a couple bargain bin items in this game for the Chiefs to pick up. Looking well and truly in control.
Mum's in the freezer section, getting the ice cream, and you're having dessert. It's certainly a delightful time to be a Chiefs player in this game. Enjoying yourself there?
Yes, Mum's in the freezer section. Where do you get this stuff?
It's the mind, the madness.
Just like go back, you just unlock a deep-seated memory.
Well, that is what my mum would always do. Before we would go to the checkout, be like, now go grab the ice cream, just so it doesn't melt on the car ride home.
Oh, that is smart, though.
It's pretty smart.
To be fair, that's also the way you probably should shop. Is you go from left to right, where the dairy and everything's at the right.
Absolutely. Does make sense.
Toppin wants to have a 1v3, I reckon.
Toppin does want to have a 1v3. He's got the ultimate,
these?
and he actually's been knocked away. Thank you very much, Mr. Linear. You're the pilot that I've been after. Tapoon has not got the bounce. It's on cooldown for another 12 seconds. He literally just walks out of it.
Hyper Proc would get him out to safety. Almost guaranteed the flash forwards of a wind becomes lightning from Lenia.
Unreal.
And it really is just passing wind.
Hyper in Trinity Force.
He's
gone back in
he
for
wants
more.
The
No way, Tapoon.
One hit.
Oh, my. He just said, I'll keep them interested, boys. Keep shoving mid.
Herald charging mid, 200 HP in a dream. charges confirmed, but it does seem like the Chiefs are just going to go for bot lane instead. I mean, they're all 3 places at once. They're just having a bit of fun now.
Certainly are. You can read that from the expressions from the playstyle, just the way they're teasing that one. I could Tapoon was safe. Come on.
I mean, you got to respect it. I think we all watched Tapoon just then and acknowledged there's a silent nod of like, I get it. I get it. Your team's winning. Like, even if you don't go for that play, your team's probably happy. But what if you win?
He has had games as a Narb where he's done the most damage on his team. He can be a carry Narb. He certainly wants to be up there still in the global records of having the most solo kills.
We've also seen perfect games go awry from the Chiefs where he's the one death.
Always.
And now you've just seen a perfect insight as to how that happens. Man's out here pushing himself to the absolute limit. Arthur's been hard juked by this Scuttle Crab.
Perfect game mostly this time. It wasn't ruined by him. We can blame Quinn this time.
Yeah, Ray's had to go first. Not looking like an MVP death, is it?
No, it's not. Look, Raze,
You know who's James Bond down in the bottom lane, though?
I'm trying to make a case for you every single time. It's just, I'm getting bullied by the Aussies.
007. Sounded like he could be an MVP.
Yeah, put the suit on Aladoric, mate. Get it done. Bit of espionage in the rift.
Toppy with an angry spit over the wall says, I know you're there. Don't think Chiefs particularly care. Toppy's going to yell at them angrily again. Does Tally go for the 1v2? I think he does.
He would.
I think there's no shot Lenny or recalls here.
There's no way. 4-level lead. What happens?
No.
Take me back to bot. Okay, we'll just quickly look at Raze. And now back at bot.
Raze went space gliding real quick, but has just simply been exhausted. Meanwhile, top lane. Turret falls. The Chiefs are basically sitting in a full court press. They have offensive options everywhere. They have defensive options just in your face constantly. And I won't stick to basketball analogies because it's probably confusing for everyone. But I think full court press is pretty logical if you think about it.
What was the other word we used the other day? Was it Gold D? I'm trying to remember the word we used. Zone D.
Zone defense.
That's right.
Yeah. 2-3 zone D.
All about those analogies from sports to esports. Yes, does look like Chiefs having a lot of fun with this one. Certainly justifying the record difference between both of these teams. The fact that you can have every single lane winning at once. That you can entertain the ideas of cheeky 1v3s or perhaps a 1v2. Tapoon, though, is going to force out the shortest dragon flight away. Almost like a flightless bird there, but Toppy's going to crawl his way out of harm. And realize that, hey, I've got a jungler here. Perhaps there's something on here, but we realize that's not as easy as it sounds. You're just going to get run on down. He's got the Trinity Force fully stacked up. He's got the Gnar, he's got the Mega, and he's got you down for 38 seconds. Now looking for a second as Aladoric is here to try and make this one a little bit easier for him to try and find those kills. In towards the Tribush. It's a 2v3, a 3-man quickness. Everybody's charmed by just the sheer charisma of the Chiefs. It's a double so far for Tapoon, but the rest of the team come across and want in on the action, but it's that man again, the Korean Demon.
Feeling a little bit jealous there, the rest of the Chiefs roster say, Aladoric and Topper, it's a bit greedy. You're doing it all yourselves. So they'll get into the mix, they'll try and take part in the team fight, but all that was really left was the scraps that Aladoric and Topper had left for them. Nice little play coming out of the two members strong here. I mean, it's hard to look past individually just how good they are and individually how outmatched Gravitas genuinely are. Rage just wants to quickly announce that it is in fact him.
You do a good Twitch impersonation?
Twitch is very loud. Hey, let's just watch this again, because Tapoon rather. Actually, really nice ult cancel there with the hop animation, locks him straight into the wall. The fact that he throws him into the tower, I mean, you're not going to see that from many Gnar players, plain and simple. He is just better. And just constant damage combo. Aladoric from this point actually hitting the 3-man W combo. And actually Tapoon flashing as he's about to transform to Mini to hit the wallop before the Xin can ult him away. So the little details there from Chiefs obviously is quite nice. The crowd control combo to make sure they get those kills is quite nice. But we are already staring down the inevitable, and the Chiefs have been playing with their food for 10 minutes, and we're only 22 minutes in.
Yeah, and I do have to ask the question to you now, though, Rusty. How many daggers? There's too many daggers, because Razor said, you know, forget about cloaks, forget about crit chance. It's all about attacking fast, and he wants to try and hunt for those multi-kills. Perhaps his first penta of the LCO era.
3 daggers, 5 bad guys. I feel like you can afford 2 more.
Yeah, bang, bang, bang.
One of those is the Kraken Slayer, and I'm not seeing any Krakens on the enemy team that need to be slain.
Certainly not.
Maybe a dagger would be better.
Yeah, perhaps a bit of mythology once again as to, you know, what is the biggest beast of them all. In the Celestial setting, it is Tapoon that takes that first mid-inhib down. And Chiefs, with the remaining 4 members, will then look to claim a second. Gravitas backs against the wall, aiming to really defend this for another minute up against a Baron-inspired roster.
You know, basilisks are meant to be really small.
Yeah.
They're meant to actually be very small, but in Harry Potter, they're quite large.
That's
Very
the joy of
confusing,
TV,
and
isn't
then
it?
the world thinks Harry Potter is canon.
It is.
It's so not.
Leviosa! As a bit of magic goes out there from Tally, just jumps into action, why not? How do you do? Make it look ever so clean as another charm, and Outlet Dorage just getting it done for the boys. They've had enough of this one. You said they're playing with their food, well now they're playing the game of winning. 23 minutes. They're going to close this one out as they look to try and keep you locked inside that
Unless
fountain.
Thomas Shen
Add
can
those
1v9.
stats a little bit more. Thomas Shen still with that lightning crash ramped up and ready to go.
Thomas Shen.
They say stop it, Thomas Shen. You can't do it. How about we just hit the Nexus and continue to be undefeated?
There's just this fly buzzing around us at the Nexus, Skibby, just trying to stop us from ending. He does as much as he possibly can, but can't stop the Chiefs. Chiefs too good. Start with a lead, end with a lead. It was never really in doubt, never looked like losing. And really, just another day in the office, is it not, for the boys in blue?
Just another day, mate. Yep.
Pretty casual. I mean,
A well-earned drink
Yeah.
there from Tapoon, you know. It's hard being the best, isn't it, Mac?
Certainly is, and it was a great game to watch. There was a lot of fun, a lot of action. It felt like T-Shen was still very much in it to win it all the way to the bitter end. Had a good couple of moments, and I guess was like the shining light for Gravitas there. Although we did have a exhaust counter going for Piglet. I think it was 19 minutes it took for him to use that exhaust, and there were many opportunities. So a little unfortunate there, but at the same time, again, yet another master class put on by the Chiefs. Gank City, jungle, bloody kingdom, everything just working out for him, and you couldn't fault them. No matter which lane you're looking at, maybe Ray's got a little bit too 1vx at multiple points, and it cost him a couple of deaths, but other than that, like, they were just having a little bit of fun today.
They were having a little bit of fun, and I think Ali was actually having the most fun. We see him going from enemy red buff killing 2 people, going back bot, killing another 2, returning back to the enemy red buff, killing someone else. He just has entire control over the entire map, because I had this analogy. I think Aladorix Rakan is basically when you get gum stuck in your hair. Because when he sticks onto you, he doesn't leave you the F alone.
Very true. And another
Just like gum,
takeaway
hey?
I had as well. So you're looking at this Shiv top compared to the Shiv top we saw earlier. He was dead before he hit level 6, right? That's before, you know, Shiv can actually jump away and do much because you're level 5. So what do Chiefs do? Oh, you know, don't want her up for that first Drake. We're just going to gank her at level 5, take her out of the equation, and give Tapoon rather, a very good time up top. And that's exactly what they did. And then
Wow.
Gravitas barely got a chance to contest any of those Drakes as well. So just constant gold going to the Chiefs, as you see there on the graph. But have a look at the damage. Everyone really putting their hand up today for Chiefs.
Look at the
Certainly
20k.
were. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why I start to ask the question as to who to even give the MVP for in this game, because they all had a bit of a stab in the dark to say,
Oh.
watch me go.
And it happened again. Kitty pointed it out. The Kempunk Chainsword is still getting built. It's there on Tapoon.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get a chance to chat with him to see why this is like the item of the week. Because we just keep seeing it built on so many different roles, so many different champs, and it just keeps on appearing.
It's like the new Hull Breaker, right? It's contagious. Every champion is building in this patch. And me and Mac were just wondering, because we never know. Because it gives CDR, it gives heal cut, and it gives health, I believe. Or am I wrong?
And a bit of AD.
and AD.
And AD.
Yeah.
I just know it's like super gold efficient for
That's
those
cheap.
for those members out there who look at, what is it, 2600 from memory?
600?
2600, and like as a first item spike, it's like, that's what it is.
Well, we've got the big man on the line. We have Tapoon for an interview. Mate, first question. Chempunk Chainsword, why are we building it? Is it just value for money?
I mean, my ADC and me just told me to build the item, so I'm just building it.
We have to pull Raisin for the
Okay.
interview because we are still left unanswered, but hopefully we
True.
get to find out very soon. Well, congratulations on the win once again. I believe you guys are secured for first seed. So how excited are you for the playoffs?
To be honest, I'm not that excited because we had like really good regular season like split 1 and we lost, so just you know just trying to improve like as possible as we can.
Yeah, not getting too
Yeah.
ahead of yourself. Pretty much just taking every game as it comes. It's what you'll have to see. Now, going into next week, I believe you might have another couple of hard games. I think you got some PGG in there. Do you think PGG is still sort of like your scariest team you've got to verse, or was Order kind of up there as the scarier teams?
I think PGG is definitely like scarce team. I think they're good as a team and they can definitely like can win us. Yeah.
There may be or could be a slight chance for that to ever happen, but with you guys and how you guys are performing so far, I think we are quite far from that reality. So congratulations on that win once again, and see you tomorrow. Tomorrow?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll see you
Next
tomorrow.
week.
Tomorrow?
We'll fly up to Brizzy. We'll see you then.
Yeah, see you
Yeah, see you guys
tomorrow, I
next
guess.
week.
Always good to chat with him. I didn't know we were going to Brizzy tomorrow.
Can't
Thought
wait
we
to
had a
see him.
meeting,
Can't wait
but
to
I
see
guess
him.
we'll take the meeting
Brisbane
from
barbecue, let's go.
Either way, Chief's house.
Chief party?
See you soon. Now, their MVP discussion. Who was it?
There's like this little bird in the back of your mind that's always like, Raze needs one, but like,
You can't give it to Reyes today. Did you see what he did?
yeah, the top moon as well, like, was really good. So
I think Tally was like deathless. Arthur was there and made things happen early.
Arthur was there.
Nerfed the Shiv, got it sort of out of
Arthur
the
was
equation.
thrift shopping, wasn't he?
Arthur was there a lot of the time.
Aladoric
A
was also
tower,
there.
a
a lot.
Aladoric
dragon,
was
a
definitely
herald.
there. Somehow, every time, all the time, really quickly too, Kitty and I were like, how the hell is he there?
He's top,
when he
he's
was
bot, he's
just
top,
down there.
he's mid.
This man just moves, de-wards, zombie wards, gets vision, kills people, does it all. It's like, he's like dream support. Anyway, that's my little compliment session.
You probably
for
like
Ali.
close your eyes at night, wake up in a nervous sweat, and Alador's just there. I'm being ganked in the night. Oh, maybe.
It's not where I was going with it. But I'll let you have that one. So who was it? Was it Ali? Was it Arthur?
Or Topoon.
I'll say Arthur today.
Or Topoon.
Votes for Arthur.
Why?
Votes for I'm doing votes.
Okay.
Yeah, votes
No.
for Arthur. No.
One vote.
Votes for Ali. Votes
No.
for Tapoon.
I'll give it to Japan.
Tapoon? All right, 3 votes for Tapoon. Thank you. I'm glad we were all super aligned on that one. Tapoon is the third game's Dare Us Coffee MVP. Forwarded for 50% KP, denying backs, big damage, leading the charts as you saw before on the scoreboard. And of course, he is just the most unbeatable top in the damn LCO at the moment. So everyone tries to keep up with the man, but it's just so hard. It's just so hard because he is Jack. Look at him. You can't keep up. The man is a machine.
I mean, the man did say that they had a perfect split in split 1, regular split actually, and they still managed to lose. So they are actually not letting their guard down. Hopefully they don't have a repeat of last season. And from
I
what
love
we've
how you
seen
always
so
go
far,
along with Mac regardless of what happens.
so what we've seen so far
Hey,
from
you
the
guys
Chiefs,
did it going into the thing because you knew what was coming.
Yeah.
Either way,
Skimmy did a sneaky.
we've had some fun already. You guys at home have actually had a little bit of fun too. So from the fans, we're going to check out your main champs real quick before we jump on into an ad break. Let's see what you've cooked up in the kitchen for us. Moby, _white_whale, little one in there somewhere. Love me some Nasus. True. Big dog. I agree.
He is big dog.
He's big dog.
Susan.
Nasus is
Big
big dog.
Susan.
Big dog.
We
Press
like,
Q.
we like big dog.
Press Q lots. Q gets stronger. Press Q more.
Unga,
It's
bunga,
fun.
And then you
top
start
lane
QQing.
scaled.
Do you ever do that, Mac?
Did I do what?
QQing?
QQ?
Yeah.
With the
Max played one game of Nasus from memory. It was good.
When
I've actually
you
played
pew,
multiple games
you
of
can
Nasus.
pew pew.
From my memory.
I played, yeah. I played very recently one game of Nasus, and it's been months and months and maybe years since before that.
And it was good.
Either way, let's have a look at who else is playing and what we have. Our friend JB, who I swear is one of the top contributors to our LCO Twitter sphere affairs. Senna, Nasus, Vega. I like the trifecta.
Scaling main, I guess.
Stacks.
Almost one for each role as well. You know, he's on the pathway of one for each role, so he just needs to work out his remaining 2. But I guess Senna can do 2 roles.
Very true. Then he could
What are we
just be a
missing?
Phil ranked gamer.
Nasus
Cho'Gath.
jungle.
Vega
Cho'Gath.
can be in 3
Hey.
roles.
Chosen
Vega's
there. All
broken.
right, let's move on. Let's see what
True.
else is going on the Twitter sphere
Draven.
here. Max von Neumann.
I
Oh, it's
swear I
formal.
read that as Australian
Yeah,
soul.
I think Aurelian is
Yeah, true.
EN.
Is it von Neumann? That would make so much more sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I'll read the thing.
Aurelian?
Aurelian Soul,
It's-
because let's be real, in a fight, who do you want to have your back?
AUREL.
Sure, a couple of stars and planets may be lost in the process, but as you lay floating forever in the deep, cold void of space, yeah, you would know it would have been worth it. Do you agree?
I agree, because Aurelian Soul is the most powerful champion in the League of Legends lore.
I'll never forget the Aurelian Soul game that we played together, though, where it was like, who would win, Aurelian Soul or Jinx Chompers? And you're like, charging through, charging up this celestial might. Chompers.
Very true. Now, let's jump on to another one. Let's see what we have here. We've got Get Sourced. Dave checking in at Get Sourced on the Twitter sphere. All about
Ooh.
Vi and Diana. Got an AD and an
Fine
AP
selection.
option and love jumping onto champs and blowing them up. At least Vi can sort of get out of danger. I've just started playing Diana recently. You go in, it's great, but if you've got no follow-up, you're bloody dead.
Vi
Flash
very
is there.
rarely gets out as well. It is certainly a way of life. If you've committed to the engage, you are committed to the engage.
I feel like there's more sustain. Although I say that, and Diana's like got this Sunfire Cape meta at the
You
moment.
just go down with the ship and blame your team.
Yeah,
That's what you have to
exactly. Guys, why didn't you follow me in? Everyone was like the other side of the map.
do. The Balkan incident.
Solan, what do we got here? I main Nico. She has a fun early game, a wide variety of builds, an amazing late game, and I love her character so much.
Nico's goated. I think she's just so
You
versatile.
actually had a lot of fun with her the other
Yeah, I
day.
absolutely did. I was breaking some ankles. I apologize to the production team that had to deal with that because I snapped some ankles constantly. Still lost, but it was a lot of fun.
The funny part was that was the Yi game, I think, and you kept on sending like the fake Yis in, and they would full ulti, just be like, Max doing something dumb, get him, and then just burn all their ults. And it's like, oh cool, we can fight now.
You've got
Let's
to
go.
find the imposter every time those clones go out. Hey, you're just like, is that real? Is it not? It's kind of like the Wukong when he does like the fake clone standstill.
It's very true. Now look,
The old S-click.
one
Exactly.
game left
Yeah.
of the day. It was definitely a runner-up for Game of the Week. Game of the Week went real quick, so Kanga, Direwolves, I think it's going to absolutely pop off, and that game is coming up just after the break. So ladies and gentlemen, don't go too far. After this, the final game of the week.
You're just going to get run on down. He's got the Trinity Force fully stacks up. He's got the Gnar, he's got the Mega, and he's got you down for 38 seconds. Now looking for a second as Aladoric is here to try and make this one a little bit easier for him to try and find those kills. In towards the Tribush.
Tomashen's
It's a
here.
2v3, a 3-man quickness. Everybody's charmed by just the sheer charisma of the Chiefs. It's a double so far for Tapoon, but the rest of the team come across and want in on the action, but it's that man again.
Hey, look, menu pong.
Is that it?
Wait, that's not right.
No,
okay.
that's not right. Ah!
Reveal
Okay,
the answer.
time's
Come on,
up.
surely.
Can I just show?
Show.
I'm too
What's the
scared.
show?
I think I put in an extra.
80k? What game are you playing?
8,000 and was like, actually, and just put another zero.
No, because it was okay. I put down 8,000, and I was
Oh,
like, wait,
no.
this is 1,000, so
I'm
it,
so
it
sorry.
can't possibly
Uh-oh.
be 8,000. So I put in an extra.
80.
Uh-oh.
80,000.
I will give everyone a little bit less pressure next time.
Which player has the best fashion sense? I don't know much about outside of our team. It's probably you. Probably. That's crazy.
Probably.
That actually blows my mind. You could have said yourself if you think it's yourself.
Which player tilts you the most personally?
whatever support I'm playing with in solo queue at the time. I don't like have a specific player I'd hate to play with, but every support in this region tilts me off the face of the earth.
That's a cop answer.
You're saying that's a cop-out?
That's a cop out.
I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, like Rogue. There you go. Who has the worst temper on your team? Brackets, rage quit.
I don't know about anyone rage quitting, but temper? Probably you.
Me, yeah.
Yes.
It's fine.
Yeah. Which player has the most soothing voice and would make a great song artist? That was
I
one answer.
haven't heard anyone sing. I feel like Jihoon would have a pretty soothing voice.
Do you guys feel like you know each other a bit better or not really?
I'm very surprised that he said I had the best fashion sense because I don't.